And we're live. We're live, we're live, we're live. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to Monday. This is my this is an exciting Monday considering that this is the Monday after my birthday. Feeling special enough. So I'm really happy today to be here and to really share something about uh, this topic. The topic is the topic will be the five-step playbook of successful virtual assistant turned virtual professional by yours truly. So before we proceed, would like to ask everyone to please state your location, taga saan kayo, and currently what you're doing while I prepare my deck for this presentation. So I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So can you please comment kung taga saan kayo? From where you are? Good morning, John. Good morning, Richelle. Good morning, Vicky, Jayan, Erich. So I'm just checking on everyone first. Oh, si Jayan from Cordova. Jayan Soliano. Vicky is from Pampanga. From Cebu. It's good to know that may from Luzon, my Saudi Arabia. Oh, okay. So John, you're really from Saudi Arabia pala. Then Erich from Diluan, Shelo from Milanilla, Cardona Rizal. Oh, thank you, John. Si Anata from Quezon City. So, what makes you kwan ngayon? What if you have any specific questions right now, expectations, you can also post it there while waiting for others. So we're just trying to build up the audience before we formally start our talk on the five-step playbook. We have from Talamban, Gina. Okay. So exactly 11:05, we will be starting the presentation so that we can really maximize the time. And I'm happy that you're here to really listen to my talk. So this is a bit awkward considering that I will be alone and I don't have any any counterpart to really share the mic or the space with. So please bear with me. Sino pa ba? Okay. Ay, si Maria Vina from Surigao. Okay. Thank you, Anami. Yes. Birthday ko kahapon. Yun lang. Wala. It's a typical stay-at-home birthday. Okay. So I think more or less we have ample people ready in the chat room. So our focus now is really talk about the five-step playbook and what's in it for you. O si Lloyd from Lapu-Lapu. Okay. So is everyone ready? If you're ready, please place their ready so that we can start. If you're ready, comment below that you're ready. Then let's begin because it's already 11:04. So we're hopeful that we can start the session at exactly 11:05. Okay. Okay, ready. Okay, let's begin. So by the way, if you have any concerns, feel free to comment ha. Kasi what will happen is I'm currently using two screens, so I might not be able to see all of your comments right there and then. So it may take some time for me to really look into your screen. Pero for the meantime, please feel free to bear with me, okay? Sige. Okay, let's begin. Okay, this presentation is more or less the culmination of what I have done so far as a digital marketing professional. So before we begin, I would like to specially thank the ICT, Department of Information Communications Technology, to really triggering me to come up with this playbook that I'm hopeful to share to everyone in a couple of days as I'm trying to refine it. And also to the Filipino Online Professional Service Cooperative, which is more or less what I'm one of the founding members. We're trying to help all of the Filipinos right now transition digitally and find jobs online. Okay, so if you are here right now, I'm definitely sure that you want to become a successful online freelancer, okay, or a successful virtual assistant. Now, I'm thanking you because you are here, and definitely, if you are here to really learn and being able to finding ways to be able to really change your lives for the better. I know it's really a hard time for everyone here in the Philippines and even abroad. We've seen a lot of counterparts in different parts of the world who's really also challenging because of the impacts of the pandemic. But with this training, I'm proud to say that it's a bit different because this training is more or less a culmination of what I have done so far. I've been teaching this to students all over the Philippines, as far as La Union, as low as kuan siguro, somewhere in Zamboanga. And this is based on experience. And this is not just the theories that you can learn somewhere else, because I have personally learned it on my own, and more or less some coaches refine the process. That's why this training is more or less, in my own opinion, priceless. And I get paid by people to really just talk about it. So, just a disclaimer, what I will be sharing to you today is not a get rich quick scheme, money making venture. Because if there are people who will be sharing you learnings and then promise you that it will make you rich quick, then I think it's a scam. What I can promise you is that if you're working and using this playbook to really grow yourself and build something, you will more or less succeed like me. So if I'll be showing you earnings and in the future slides, please take it as a reference point to what I'm trying to drive at, not really to show off. Because in my own opinion, the best proof that you can show to people is the social proof that you have done it. And one of those proof are proofs of earning. And your success in this blueprint, knowing this blueprint will not deliver you success. What will deliver you to success is the level of commitment and dedication you have to really assert your time to deliver what's in the blueprint. Okay? So if I'm also mentioning brands, please take note that I don't represent any brand, even if I mention the ICT and FOPSCO, because they're just organizational partners that helps us to really push this advocacy forward. And then if I have some distractions today, please apologizing in advance, because I'm also a full-time dad like the previous speakers that we've invited here. And at some point, there will be some organic distractions in between our conversation, so please bear with me. So In our session today, there will be only two goals. First is I want you to appreciate that the only way for you to start earning income online legitimately is starting as a virtual assistant. It's more or less the entry level of online jobs that you can apply online. Second, the only way to master the skills of a successful virtual assistant is to understand the five pillars or the five steps of this playbook that I will be showing to you. And this playbook is for those people who are committed to earn more, to have more time for themselves, and those people who wants to achieve more freedom. If this is you, tell me which part of these objectives do you want to achieve in a couple of days, weeks, months? Do you want to have more money? Do you want to have more time? Do you want to have more freedom? Meron ba? So just to reintroduce myself, maybe you've already known me as Mr. VirtualPreneur. But beyond that, I'm also the CEO of Istra Digital Marketing Company based in Cebu City, Philippines. And I have been one of the resource speaker and trainers of DICT. And currently, I get paid to do talks, to travel, to do things that I love. There's only three things that I love. If you've heard me talk in the previous videos in this session, uh, I love to eat, I love to travel, and I love to share. And all of these three areas that I love, I get paid to do it. That's because I have more or less established a credibility that I can do it for people. Maging better provider lang sapat na sa akin, sabi ni Ian. But with this presentation that I'm sharing you, you can be more than what you aim to become. Yes. So this is more or less my team in Cebu. We've been in operation since 2015. It was only in 2017 that we really formalized our paper. So we're already a corporation. So we've in a short span of time, we're really able to receive all of this and created a more or less a benchmark for all of the other digital marketing agencies in Cebu to follow. So if you will implement the blueprint that I'm sharing to you will more or less earn like this. You will. This is more or less the one of the five PayPal accounts that I have, because the two PayPals that I have before was there was this offer before that they will be buying your PayPal account, the old ones, for some amount, and I think that was one of my grave mistakes. I should have kept it because it more or less has the trail of how much I've earned so far. So more or less, this is one of the three remaining PayPal accounts that I have. This is the income that I have for 2018 to 2019. Okay na ba ni? Okay na to income na to? Next, you can also earn this much per project. So the good thing is if you're able to focus on the things that you love and create a system around it, which I will explain later, you can even convert your services to products. And you will be able to earn this much also. So there's a lot of things that you can do when you start earning. And I think the hardest part will be starting your career online. And I've reached this far not because I'm gifted or talented. I'm just more or less like you. As a matter of fact, if you've noticed, most of the speakers that we've invited are more or less younger than me because they have discovered it way young when they were younger. I was already around 30 when I discovered digital marketing. No, actually, I was already 20, no, 25. Yeah, I think I was already 25 when I discovered digital marketing. This is me in 2005. The problem, it was the first training that I've attended about online. I attended the training on online writing, and it was there that I realized there's so much income online. It was a training conducted by Sidfit in Cebu. So this is me, sexy days, 24, 24 waist, 24 waistline, 24 inches waistline. And it was only in 2008 that I got the first gig because I'm not really like our previous speakers. Medyo kan ako, ang tawag dito. I see an opportunity. I tend to over recall this over process things to the extent that I'm no longer able to do it. So paralysis by analysis siguro. It was only in 2008 that I got my first gig since the 2005 that I've learned there's so much income online. But beyond that, I started as a career. I started my career in Cebu as a burger flipper. If you're familiar with Burger Machine, I was one of the early staff because the problem is I need to earn some income, so I need to have a job. I graduated late as a professional, and I got easily burned out in my corporate job in 2010. That's why I really pushed for my first online gig in 2010 only. I would say only because imagine I've learned how to earn online. It's like learning the blueprint in 2005, but it took me 3 years to finally find an online job and then find a full-time job in 2010. But later I will show you the difference why I was able to learn and grow so fast after I took full-time my career. If you trail on, if I've checked my trail on my previous emails, the first emails I've sent as an application, I realized the thing that I missed. That's why the good thing with you having your email accounts and all of the details that you have in one account, you're able to trail your story. And my story is just by looking at this, I realized how inconsistent I was when I was starting my career online. As you can imagine, I keep on applying so many jobs, but it was not consistent. The dates, there were June 6, 2010, and then the next I applied September 9, so on. So I took my growth path pretty slow compared to others. And if I am here right now, it's not because I'm better or another word, good, good, or a gifted person. If I'm here right now achieving this much of income, it's not because I'm good or better than anyone. Excuse me. I'm just in a time wherein I need to find an income to really support my family. It was in 2012 that I really pushed for building income online, excuse me, and establishing a career because I don't have an option. As you can remember, in 2010, I, I left a job that I really love. I've been in the hospital 3 times in 2010. I'm already in deep debt to the extent of me. I don't have any option to how I can get paid. So problematic talaga yun. That's why in 2010, I really tried my best to build a career around this because if people had been earning online, why can't I? 'Di ba? If the speakers that we had earlier or the previous days had earned this much, why can't you? 'Di ba? If they can do it, then you can do it too. If we can do it, then you have the right to do it also, to achieve all the things that you want for your families. Mhm. The sad thing is, we were at some point taught that for you to be able to learn things, you need to research it on your own because it's free in YouTube, or you assume that you already master of a skill just by watching YouTube videos. That's true. You can learn it, but the thing is, you need to apply and have a mentor to really guide you through the process. Because if not, you can be like me, who really struggled from the beginning, because I didn't really have any mentor to coach me on how uh, virtual assistants can be fast tracked. So imagine 3 years ang gap, and then but now I with all the learnings that we had and with all the errors that I had in life, I can easily turn or churn a full-fledged digital professional in less than a week or two. But it will be more or less a serious thing to do, and it will require so much, what do you call this, uh, commitment on the side of those who want to become digital professionals. And the other traditional way of doing things is, as soon as it's taught to you, you will always just wait. Uh, if there's a client coming in, or wait for somebody to give you clients. The thing is, there's a better way of doing things. The good thing now is you have platforms where you can really get opportunities or be be found by your target audience. But the problem is, on in those platforms, they're already oversaturated to the extent that only several number of people earns so much, and the others are just uh, waiting for the remaining crumbs of the income. The new way of doing things or learning things is for you to understand that there's a process on how you can start your VA career successfully. And one of the best way to do that is to be mentored by an eight-figure virtual assistant turned virtualpreneur, or find somebody who's already doing it and be mentored by them. Either become their assistant, become their intern, do whatever it takes for you to learn how they did it, how to do it. Then the next thing that you need to understand is that it's really important for you to start a VA career with certain credibility, because the entry level now is way competitive, considering that there are a lot of Filipinos now going and finding jobs online. And the thing is, as much as you tell me now that you're ready, pero pag you're, what do you call this, not mentally, physically, and socially prepared, at some point you will be burned out. That's why it it's like running a marathon. When you run a marathon, it's not like it's like saying, I want to run a marathon. Then just next day you run a marathon. Is that how things is done? I don't think so. If you're running a marathon, then it will take you several days or weeks to really build up for that opportunity to run in a marathon. It's the same thing like becoming a virtual assistant. You need to prepare yourself to become a virtual assistant. And then you need to learn how to find clients, because the problem is most of you may have the skills, but you don't have the skill to find a client. And that's a thing of value to you, especially if you're starting to build your own brand, 'di ba? Kasi pag wala kang kliyente, how can you sustain your operations? How can you uh, sustain your online job, di ba? And then lastly, it's not enough for you to learn the process. It's important that you need to master it. That's why dito na naman papasok yung guide person who will guide you to become a master virtual assistant or a master virtual professional. Okay? And you need to understand that there are five secrets, not really secrets, but I call these secrets because as much as there are a lot of virtual assistants right now, when I show this to some of my previous students, they said, bakit ngayon lang to nilabas? But for me, I summed up I summed all of the things that a virtual assistant needs to know into five things, because if you're able to master this, then you have five steps on how to build a successful online virtual professional career. Okay? So the first secret is you need to know the essential attribute that top 4% of successful virtual assistants have. Okay? Ano yun? We will discuss that shortly. Second, how anyone can be successful virtual assistant even if you have zero to no talent. Yes, you can. You can have a you can be a very successful virtual assistant even if you don't have any talent. Okay? Next, in this presentation, I will show you a blueprint of how things are done. But I'm not really able to show it the detail kasi nga limited on time, but I will show you all the blueprint so that you would know what needs to follow from the beginning. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. The third is how to get customers to ethically hand you their card every time they talk to you. Because the problem is, most of those may have the credibility, but why is it very hard for them to find new clients? Bakit kaya? This is the strategy that will help you solve that. Fourth, the one thing that you need to build to consistently provide a stream of clients over and over again. Yes, you're a virtual assistant, but if you don't have a sustainable list of clients or stream of clients, then at some point uh, you will be at lost. There was the study done, not really study. It was a video uh, from TED Talks, and it was shown there that poverty is more or less a state of mind. It's because we make bad decisions if we don't have ready cash. And most often, we equate, as virtual assistant, we equate the availability of cash to the number of clients or the availability of clients that we have, especially if you start from zero. Now, if that's the scenario, you need to understand that you need to have sustainable clients to work with you to be able to really make bright and right decisions. I think one of our speakers before this mentioned that before jumping into virtual assistants, he had around 6 months worth of savings. That's true. That's why he was able to build good decisions on it. Most of those who wants to become VA who doesn't have savings, the problem is they don't have savings, so they make bad decisions. They made bad decisions in selecting clients to the extent of them uh, really being in the what about in the loophole of mistakes, di ba? Series of unfortunate events because of every bad decisions they make. And these bad decisions are mostly done during the time that they don't have the confidence because they don't have cash. And lastly, the secret number 5 will be this is the system that will allow you to increase the revenue or the income that you want anytime that you want. At some point, this has been already discussed by, I think, Bert during the Upwork session. But in this presentation, I will try my best to explain how it's done. The system that will allow you to increase revenue anytime you want. Okay? So, are you ready to know the 5 secrets? or the 5-step blueprint? Are you ready? Parang tahimik. Are you ready? Okay. Guys, these are the 5-step blueprint of a successful virtual assistant. Okay? The first one, this is the essential attribute that the top 20 of successful virtual assistants have. These 3 words: success, intent, grit. Success, intent, grit says a lot of things about virtual assistants. Successful virtual assistants, or virtual assistant turned virtual entrepreneur. And preparing this blueprint, I really had to research about success. What's the success? How do you measure success? And it's really interesting to note that there are different definitions of success. And for you to succeed online, you need to understand that it's not enough for you to be able to define what success is. You need to have the intent to succeed and the grit to succeed. Do you know how deep it is? Example, if I had troubles before in really pursuing the virtual assistance career, and I didn't have the grit to continue, then maybe I'm just another virtual assistant right now, because I know there are a lot of virtual assistants out there who are still virtual assistants and hasn't transitioned to become virtual professionals. Why? Because at some point they were disrupted. But if their measurement of success is long term and meaningful, then they should have succeeded way beyond their imagination. And for you to be able to pursue that with passion and perseverance, it takes a lot of grit. And if you trail back all of the speakers that you invited here, all of them had grit. It's not enough that you need to search for the balanced life, because most of the virtual assistants I've known is that when they started, they want to achieve balanced life. But reality is, you can never achieve instantly balanced life, because you will need to understand first what is this industry all about, and then later you would be able to refine your lifestyle and understand what is balanced life to you. Do you get what I mean? Because the problem with them, why do you want to become a virtual assistant? Because I want to achieve, I want to have a live work balanced life. If that's your reason, and you achieve that work life balance that you want to achieve, then you stop there. Whereas if you have higher goals, long-term goals to fuel your success, then you will have more fuel to burn, more passion to build, more perseverance uh, to hone, for you to be able to achieve the goals and the successes that you have. I will be also sharing this deck to you. And as soon as I share this to you, look at this video. This is an interesting video from TED, and in one of their speaker, Angela Duckworth, shared what is the common predictor of success. And according to their studies, the common predictor of success is, for all of the successful people, Name all the billionaires out there, millionaires out there. They have common denominators why they really succeeded. They have grit, passion, and perseverance for long-term goals. They are willing to fail and to be wrong, to start over again with the lessons learned. Why am I saying this to you in advance? Because as a virtual professional or virtual assistant, this is not heaven. You will cross at some point hell on earth, because you will learn things, a lot of things, and for you to master things, you need to go through fire to master things. The more you fail, the faster you fail, the more you fail forward, the more you succeed faster. That's the reality of this industry. So this training is not about making you feel good. No, I want you to mindset yourself to these realities, that it's not a work in a park. This is a serious game that can really change your life. So, coach, so in the success intent grid, what should we need to learn? First, it's really important for you to understand what's your passion. And not enough na you know your passion. You need to understand what's your purpose. Why? Because your purpose will dictate what's your long-term goal. Do you have a long-term goal? The problem is you want to have an online career but you don't have a long-term goal. This will also determine if you will have grit to adapt, or do you have reasons to really push forward when all hell fails or all shit goes to the fan. That's why it's really important that you need to understand what's your passion, purpose. Next, characteristics of successful virtual assistants. If you search online, there's a lot of articles about this. Characteristics of successful virtual assistants. Look on there, those lists and see which of these characteristics are the characteristics that you have and you don't have. Why? So that you would know what are the characteristics that you need to build in yourself or you need to acquire in yourself. And then, of course, you need to have blueprints. There are a lot of blueprints out there on how to really start as a virtual assistant. You need to sort it out. You need to sort it out. What are the things people are doing to really become successful as a virtual assistant? Next, things every VA should know. Don't worry, because all of the things, more or less, the topics are already in an outline form, are already indicated all in this presentation, so that you can just follow through on all of these things. Excuse me. Next, overcoming objections. Why is overcoming objections very important? Just imagine this. When I was starting online, one of my foremost critic was my tatay. So what happened is, I was already working online, and normally I wake up as late as 10, 11 in the morning. And it was a time that I left already my corporate job. When I was working in corporate job, I wake up as early as around 6:30 to 7 in the morning, just go to the office. And then here comes this online job, and I just stay at home. And then I wake up around 11, 10, 11, so on in the morning. And the thing is, we don't really have a house where I have my own home. And for those who know me as a person, I literally grew living, having the sala as my uh, sleeping room. Why? Because konti lang kami sa family. My mother, my tatay, my nanay, and then I have 6 siblings, including me. So that's around 8. You have a small house with around 8 people. So where would you normally sleep? Considering that I'm the firstborn boy, I normally sleep at the living room, sala, kawayan, or name it. And for the longest time, that's where I slept until I realized that I have I find living rooms comfortable as a sleeping area. So going back to the story, it's 11 in the morning. My tatay saw me. This may this makes me recall this story. Wake up pretty early. They would normally wake up pretty early, and then when they saw me at 11 in the morning, I'm still in the sala sleeping. My tatay told me, "What are you doing with your life?" Imagine, I was already earning online, and I was already giving my share of my income, and my tatay still tells me, what are you doing with your life? When I look back to the story, I realized that my tatay, is not really the contemporary tatay. They were really used to working from morning till night, and then here I am. I don't have any corporate job. I have income, yes, but it's something new to them. So one of the common objections that you will have when you're virtual professional is that if your family is not well prepared about the change of scenario, can be your first objectors. And for me, that really happened. That's what happened to me. My first objectors was my family. Second is, the other objections can be, if you shift right now, it can mean loss of income. So how would you explain that to the family or the people that you love? That's why you need to understand what are the objections of your family, and then sort it out and provide them a deal that they can't refuse. The thing is, example from one of my students in Cadiz City, Negros, is when he pursued this degree, this life-changing course, what he did was he explained it pretty well to her girlfriend, to his girlfriend, to the extent that his first domain and hosting was purchased by his girlfriend. I won't name the student, but that student is now one of the very successful digital marketing strategists based in in Western Visayas. And literally, one of those who supported him because he was able to explain it well was his girlfriend. As a proof, during the graduation, it was his girlfriend who pinned or who gave him the medal because he graduated first in my class there. The point is, how are you able, or what are the objections of people around you, and then sort it out. Okay? And there are a lot of things that you will be learning across your journey to become a virtual professional. And one thing that you need to understand is there will be things that you will need to sacrifice for you to be able to succeed as a virtual professional. Okay? And for you to be able to be on top, or the 4%, because as far as I understand, there will only be 4% of those who do virtual freelancing online who will have so much income. Those are the people who have been doing the things the 96% refuses to do. Don't follow those virtual assistants or professionals who have so much complaints about their employers, because these are normal things. All you need to understand is these are problems. So if these are problems, there should have been solution. If not, these are situations that you need to overcome as a virtual professional. In all of this, it's really important for you to understand you need to to prepare yourself. Success intent grid. Okay? Next is, as soon as you're able to prepare yourself for this career, the next thing is you need to prepare your setup. Coach, how can you become a virtual assistant with no talent? Why? Does a successful virtual assistant, required to have a talent? No, you just need to have what? Skills. Unless I'm pretty sure if there's a client who requires, okay, before I accept you for this job, can you sing to me? Because I know Filipinos knows how to sing. No, I don't think so. Talent is not a prerequisite in becoming a successful virtual assistant, but you need to prepare your setup. Setup is far more important before acquiring skills, because if you're not properly, if you haven't prepared a proper setup for you to skill up, then your skilling up will be hampered. Okay, so you can check on the sites right now online, see what are the fundamentals of becoming a virtual assistant, and there are a lot of ebooks that you can review out there. Digest them and then learn from them. Second is, you need to understand what are the top online freelance careers to pursue. Okay? Question: what are the careers that will earn you so much in a short period of time? None. Why? Most of those that is high paying will require you to learn will require you some time to learn. So example, skill sets of becoming a master social media specialist. There are a lot of people who are competing for the position. So since this position has so much competition, and then if the requirement of that position will decline, then basically this position will become rate will be higher. But if there's so much of you who can do these things, then the rate will be lower. So if you want to become a highly paid virtual assistant, a professional, go for those specific niche that can provide you higher income. For example, one of the sustainable this long term is, first is real estate lead generation. Uh, Lead generation in general is high paying, because you can even peg it at per sale you have a commission. You can also search online what are the other online freelancing career to pursue. Development skill is okay. It's good that you can learn the skills, but in the future you need to transfer this knowledge to others so that you can just manage and you can scale. Next, the third most important thing that you need to set up is your mobile office. Why mobile office? Why not home office? You need to think in advance. How can you work not from home? Why? Because you might be traveling to Europe, diba? If your goal is to become a uh, traveling digital nomad in the future, then you need to position your mindset. What are the things that I need to require to prepare for me to be able to become a mobile uh, digital professional? So you need to have laptop instead of PC. Second, you need to have high-end gears. Why? High-end gears might be expensive at first, but they tend to last longer than the cheaper ones. And they are of quality. So example, before I just use an ordinary laptop to do my things. But when I bought a Mac, I realized that I save more when I use a MacBook Pro. Why? Before with a PC, I always change my laptop every 1.5 year. And to those who's using the traditional laptops would understand why. Because when it's more than a year and year and a half, then it starts to lag and depreciate. Whereas with a Mac, it can stay with you up to 3 to 4 years. So imagine every 2 years, I would replace my laptop. No, 1.5 years, I would replace my laptop. Whereas if I have a Mac, it can last about 4 years, meaning I can save more in terms of expense. Coach, wala pa akong pwedeng pambili ng Mac. Then don't buy it. Focus on being able to set up first yourself to start earning. Start earning more, and then as soon as you have that, then start gearing up, upscaling your gears to be able to serve more clients better. Diba? Next, you need to have also the skills that can get you a job as fast as 1 week. One of those skills is, example, appointment setter, data entry, uh, e-commerce, virtual assistant, because these are entry level jobs that you can really acquire, easily acquire some skills and then apply for jobs. Why? Just for you to get started. It's not about it's your final job. No, it's a job that you can use as a stepping point to increase your rates. Okay? Coach, I have special skills na kagad. So example, I was from the BPO and I have these skills. I can do web development. Then go for it. Apply for a jobs in web development because you already have the skills. That's really a high paying skill right now. I have a kwan. What else are the high paying skills? Web dev, cryptocurrency, uh, cryptocurrency, lead generation. These are the top skills that if you have done this working at an agency, you can easily transition online. But I suggest do it gradually. Why? The common error why people fail is that first they they fully transition to a career that they are not well prepared. So example, uh, there was this a friend who said that he transitioned directly to an online job. So he hated his company, so he jumped off to accepting jobs online. Then later I realized a year and a half later he's back to the corporate world. Why? Because he was so in love with the company perks. Because the reality is when you're a virtual professional already, you don't have a you don't have perks. You need to pay your own perks unless you work for an agency, or even if you're working as a contractor, you need to pay your SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth. You don't have any 13th month already unless your client will provide you. But if you're paid high, then you don't have any 13th month pay. Then you don't have any 14th month pay. You don't have any healthcare because you will pay it on your own. That's why you need to transition part-time and then full-time for you to be able to get accustomed to the realities of what is getting a job online and how you can really prepare yourself for these challenges. Diba? Tapos, the other thing is you need to understand the common virtual assistance tasks that you need to understand. What are those? If until now you don't know it, then you need to start digging in because this is the very basic things that you need to understand as a virtual assistant. And then tools of the trade. There are a lot of tools that you need to master specifically on depending on what are uh, the industry that you'll be going through. You need to master all of these tools. You can research all about it. Example, if you're going for real estate, then what are the tools being used in the real estate? Coach, I don't have existing knowledge. Then start with the free tools just for mastery. Find it in YouTube. Start learning from it. Okay? So as you can see, there are a lot of in one step, there are a lot of working gears. di ba? And these are the things that you need to understand. Coach, what are the things that I need to do to be able to set up uh, a good way of building a credibility at the same time uh, learning from it? This is what I've learned from one of the mentors I had. It is a very expensive training. I think it was 12997, and this is what I realized. The easiest way that you can really get clients is if you're able to teach them how to do it. Use YouTube, use Facebook. If you're able to explain to them how things are done, they post it in Facebook and YouTube and in your blog, in your website, and they found you, normally they will literally hire you. It's the same thing that uh, it's the same thing that it's the same thing why I was able to land my first part-time gig. I had a blog already before. It's called pinoyworld.org, and with pinoyworld.org and one other website, uh, they saw me this they saw my writing skills, and then they started offering me jobs. For a 250 word article, they pay me 30 USD, and then that is where I built my career. But it took me 3 years because I was really in love with my previous job until I got burned out. So that's my story. But you can fast track it if you're really focused on what you want to do, or if virtual assistant is really a thing that you want to pursue. Okay? And I strongly believe in this. If you're not prepared, then basically this opportunity will not be landing onto you. The thing is, there are a lot of opportunities online, and most often the opportunities will always be for those who are prepared. That's why setup is important for you to be able to maximize and learn and be prepared for the opportunity that's coming. Okay? The second one. The third one is suit up for clients. Even if you're just at home, you need to understand that you need to really suit up for clients. It's not about just dressing up. Who's familiar with Barney Stinson? I just really love this guy, so I included him in my presentation. So this person, Barney Stinson, oh, what's the name of the series? If you're familiar. Oh, don't worry, later I will answer all of your questions. I'm just going through all of the presentation, and then we'll get back to you. All of the questions that you have. Thank you very much for posting the question. At least I have all the questions. I can see all of your questions now. Okay? Barney Stinson is from How I Met Your Mother TV series. And in his persona in the series, emphasized the value of suiting up. Why? It's not enough that you know how things are done. You need to be exciting, not boring. As a virtual assistant, you need to have a persona. Okay? The problem with most of virtual assistant is that when they start, they're already starting, they mostly get disconnected with clients. Why? Because they're too boring. It's not about you adapting to the ways of your customer. It's you showing yourself to your customers. And there are a lot of ways to really address this, because these are the common errors that these are the common errors that uh, you get disconnected with your client to the extent that they got lost in the middle of the things that you're doing. First is you need to understand who's your target client. That's why I think this was already presented by Jeremiah and Alvin. during their presentation. They emphasize that you need to understand your buyer and their buyer's journey. Why? Because it's the only way that you can connect to them. Working online is all about trust. And if working with these people online, you can't establish trust, then most often they will get these clients will be lost in some way. That's why it's really important for you to understand you need to have a connection with clients and customers. Example, the way you laugh, the way you do things, so on. The next thing that you need to understand also is you need to find your ideal clients. I think this was shared already by Rochefel. During the presentation of Rochefel emphasized, and Alvin, they emphasized where you can find your clients and jobs. Okay? But this, if you're looking for clients, those that you have approached will be way cheaper compared to those who whom who had approached you. Diba? Different thing yun eh. So, if you're approaching clients, most often, with the intention of getting them as a client, most often, these are uh, way cheaper clients. But if the client has a problem and then they found you, then you are paid higher. I hope you get what I mean. Next, there are a lot of ways to attract your ideal clients, and one of them is example setting up your website, putting yourself in social media, creating content for people who has specific problems that you know you can solve, and also preparing a resume and portfolio. This was already discussed by Bert and I think Jeremiah Rochefel. Customizing individual proposal for clients. This is critical because for high paying clients, all of the proposals should be customized. Yes, that's true. And I would agree to that because 95% of the time, if your report is customized to the specific need of the client, and if you have literally listened to their need, you will be able to close the deal with the client. That's why it's really important for you to interview them, discovery. I think somebody already discussed about the discovery interview. Then after that, you close their deal. Close the deal. Next, you need to also build up your credibility. And like what I mentioned earlier, one way of really building up credibility more than the resume and portfolio is to show them that you can do it. So example, if you're doing SEO, have you ranked yourself online? When people are searching for your name, are you ranking or not? If people are searching for the thing that you want to resolve or solve, can they find you or not? Then if they can't find you, there's something wrong with your skill set as an SEO. Diba? Second, you want to be hired as a social media manager and you don't have any social media accounts. Diba? Medyo weird. So these are simple ways that you can really build up your credibility. Depending on what expertise that you want to establish, depending on what credibility that you want to be perceived as, you need to build credibility to that. Okay? Next, the other way that you can really suit up with your client is creating, meaning getting certifications. There are a lot of free and premium trainings out there that you can really get free certifications. Diba? Second is proof of work. The other thing is you can contact your friends, relatives who's need of a website, and then ask them to that you can do it for them. The good thing with that is you can create website. You can they have rooms for your errors. So as soon as you're able to set up their website, social media accounts, you can add it as your proof of work, meaning you have created this website, you have done this, and also you can also get testimonials from them. Next is the other thing that you can do is being affiliated to specific organizations. Example, if you're applying for uh, example digital marketing assistant, and then you have a certification from uh, Google uh, Google Garage, and then you have another certifications from Google Analytics, introduction to Google Analytics, introduction to Google Ads. These are certifications that can really add value to you. You are at some point affiliated to Google because you have you have acquired certain certification. The other thing is, for example, for companies like me, being associated to Chamber of Commerce, to other organizations, can also be another form of really credibility, another form of credibility building. And also get 5-star customer reviews. I think this was explained by Hilmar and Bert in their presentation. They showed us at some point how you can acquire 5-star customer reviews, and most often you can acquire them starting from your with your friends, colleagues, diba? Now, it's not enough that you know who's your target client. Is you need to understand that you need to become the service provider your target customer is looking for, diba? If you're courting somebody, diba? It's ideal to say that. It's ideal you would say na uh, it's ideal that you find this person at a certain circumstance, but most often you are found because you're the right person at the right time. It's like doing service to clients also. If they're in need and you're the person that they saw that can provide them the skills, then you're it. And most often, this is the strategy of really getting consistent clients. Okay? Number 4, you need to understand that for you to get targeted customers ethically that will literally give you their uh, credit card every time that they need something is for you to have the skill competency. So I think I already discussed this, that there are 3 types of skills that you can acquire. Maybe at some presentations that I had before. First is what skills can allow you to earn this week or in weeks, especially if you're already excited to get a job online. Second is what skills can double or triple your income. These are not the entry level skills. These are higher level skills that only few people can do. That's why you are paid higher than the regular people. Or the third thing is what skills can exponentially grow your income. So example, if you know how to run a social media marketing campaign and you want to exponentially scale it, then you need to find the strategy of being able to what? You to be able to exponentially grow your income. How? By establishing your own company. And that will require another set of skill set, administration and management. Diba? So there are different levels of competency. It's not just competency for you to land a job. It's a competency that you need to really to get higher income. Because our goal here is not just for you to get a job. How can you uh, consistently get higher income, diba? So example for skills that can let you earn immediately. So the thing that you need to look in first is what is the job that you're currently doing right now, and see if there is an existing need to that job online. So example, if you're an accountant, a bookkeeper, definitely there are jobs there are online jobs that require that are needing bookkeeper and accountants. Then you can apply to those need. Second is you need to look into also what's your training offline. So example, if you were a past customer service professional, then look for a customer service jobs because there are a lot of online customer service jobs available. Just be careful. Even if it's the data entry, general virtual assistant, or appointment setter, you need to understand that you are taking this job not because they are highly paying job. These are just your entry level job, just for you to get the hang of it. Understand what is the industry all about. That's why I would encourage you to do part time. So example, if you want to learn a high level skills and you can be hired to that full time, get another part time and then apply as a part time to that gig as an intern or something. The goal is for you to build credibility and skills on that target skill set. I'm just being very realistic because I don't really believe on those people saying, okay, you need to transition full time 100%. Yes, that's realistic if you don't have any other option. But if you have an existing job, keep your existing job and slowly transition online because be there will it will have strong impact to your current finance. Unless you have solid savings for about six months, then go for it. I'm encouraging you to go 100% full because if you're doing that, then you can easily transition online easily. Okay? And then lastly, this is how you can increase your revenue anytime you want. It's scaling up your freelancing. How can you scale up your freelancing? First, you need to understand earlier it was already shared to us what was the customer need. And if I was really insisting that you get a client, because when you get your client, you would understand what is the service all about. And if you know already the service, masking at the back of your hand, then you understand already that you can serve this same product also to the target client. The third one is you need to create a system. System is system is a process of uh, how a thing is executed and delivered without you in it. Are you getting the point? Example, you have mastered social media marketing and you want to start you have you want to do social media marketing and there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of jobs that's coming in your name. What would you do? If you can train people to do it on your behalf and accept more clients, then create a system to replicate you to get more clients. Nakuha ninyo? It's not enough that you know it. You should be able to share that knowledge to others for them to be able to replicate you. That's why, example, if there are 5 people contacting you for social media jobs, then you have other people who can help you deliver that. Then there's no problem. That's how you can scale. So imagine every social media jobs that you get paid 500 USD. Then there were 10 people looking for social media managers and you were hired by these 10 people. Then you have around 10 people also can help you deliver those. Then think that's 5,000 USD a month. That's a simple math. But you need to understand that again, not all types of skills can be a skill that you need to implement this. you need to understand what's the perfect itch for the client that you have. Excuse me. You cannot be the virtual assistant for all the clients. You just need to pick to, sa lahat ng mga naging skill set mo, alin doon, alin doon ang ideal para sa iyo. Who's your ideal client that you want to serve? Second is, sa ideal client na yon, what is the service that you're excelling at? And then, can you create a process on it? So if you're able to do it, then you have the perfect itch that you can easily scale and create a business out of it. That's how you can earn more. It's not about spreading yourself so thin to the extent that because I've tried it before. I've tried it. I accepted 4 jobs. 4 8-hour jobs. And imagine it. Ilang oras lang ba kaya ng katawan? I've tried working 20 hours a day. And at some point, it really deteriorated my health. That's why you need to create a system wherein you're able to scale your freelancing with the help of others. Okay? So scaling up, aside from that, you need to understand that the fact when is the right time to scale. So example, Coach, alam ko nang maging social media professional. Gusto ko na mag-start ng agency. How would you know? Is the client satisfied with your work? Normally, I just give it 3 months time for me to be able to master something. And then I create a process and system. If others can easily follow it, then it's a good business to run for scaling. Okay? Second, you need to refine your customer avatar. What's your customer avatar? Meaning, ano ang mukha ng customer na gusto mo? Gusto mo bang magkaroon ng maraming ganitong kliyente? Then you need to target on them. Where can I find them? Balik ka dun sa process of suiting up for a client. Where can I find them? Because the more you're able to refine, dig deep, what's your target client? What's your niche? That's how you can find your target customer. Next is, position your service to become a product. This is where I failed for so long. Because at some point, as much as customizing the reports or of the clients is essential to really build up. The problem with that type of process is that it takes some time to really close a client, because at some point nga, the acquisition to conversion siguro around 2 to 3 months, and you need to nurture them and so on. If you convert it into a product, then basically you can easily scale. Example, if you think of it, Jollibee, sa Jollibee, you will just have several products in place in store, di ba? Fries, burger and fries, burger chicken with fries. So very alam mo na yung ano lang yung is in-offer. In your own, what are the services that you are trying to offer? That's why you need to have at least a job first for you to be able to understand ano ba yun. If not, what's your previous offline job or online job, and see to it if there's a need to it. Balik ka dun sa process na yun. And then see if it's a service that you can offer. And then look online. Ano ba yung existing rate for that service? If go ka, then go for it. The next thing is, you need to create a client acquisition sales funnel. Why? So that the acquisition of new clients for you is automatic. One thing that you can do is creating social media accounts, managing them efficiently, setting up autobots, chats, so that people would be able to, you can easily convert these people to become your clients or followers before becoming clients, and so on. And lastly, automate the sales process. This is one of the sales process that we're currently following in all of more or less the business that I'm running. Okay, you need to create a measurement, appointment, report, need, solution, and close the deal. So if you're doing the negotiation yourself, then you need to have a process flow of how you're able to track all of the successes in closing the deal. So example, for this sa page na to, Facebook page, ilan ang pumasok na inquiries sa service ko? Ano yung kadalasang inquiry nila? Given na kung halimbawa your Facebook page is really good, you're able to put their videos of how you do things, sample, how to create a social media account, how to manage social media accounts, how to engage, and so on. Second is, if they are inquiring and they have questions, it's really better for you to be able to convert them into an appointment. Not all appointment becomes a meeting with the client, but the point is, if you're able to set an appointment with them, the probability of it being closed is way higher, because it is, you can, on that time you can really establish a rapport to your target customers, wherein you will tell your stories and the credential and how to build the rapport and credibility. And then it is a time where you were able to emphasize ano yung kailangan nila, because you've listened to them, you know their problems. So what is your need? This is fitting, especially to those who have a portfolio already of a lot of things that they can do on their own or with a team. Okay, so tell your story and share your credential. Next is conduct a need analysis to deliver opportunity or service. That's how you deliver the need. Next is, after a week, you go back to them. Present your solution in a customized report. Dito na papasok yung proposal. Diba? But this one is a customized report in fine details. So you're offering to them now your solution. What's your solution? And lastly, it can be another online meeting or it can be a one-on-one call, so on, where you will explain to them the two quotes that you have, quotations, one high, one low, but you make it a point that the low is more or less closer to the higher, so that the client will get the higher deal. So there's another set of training for this. And I know at some point you're a bit burned out na siguro because I've shared a lot. Because that's the reality of it. You need to learn a lot of things for you to be able to start successfully. But my point is, for you to be able to be successful online, you need to understand more or less where are you going, not really knowing what you need to do right now. For you to be able to quantify lang ba if this is really for you or not for you. Okay? So, in retrospect, these are the 5 things or 5 steps that you need to understand for you to be able to become a successful virtual assistant and achieve the life that you want. First is, you need to have the essential attribute that the top 4% of the successful virtual professionals have, is the success intent grit. Next, the secret number 2, how you can be a successful virtual assistant even if you have zero to no talent, is being able to set up yourself for success. Third is how to target customer to ethically hand you their credit card every time they talk to you by setting up or suiting up for your clients. Fourth is the one thing that you need to build to consistently provide a stream of clients over and over again, it's you setting up yourself to build new skills and competency. And lastly, for you to be able to increase revenue anytime you want, it's your ability to scale up your freelancing life. Okay? So now we're ready to answer some questions. Okay? Let's answer some questions. Oh, questions. Mhm. Yes, I believe in mentoring to be able to start right and avoid missteps by Vicky Malig Dizon. Yes, true. In my journey as a business owner, I think my mistake at some point is I always see investments in getting coaches at another expense, but later I realized that the more you're able to hire a coach to really assist you or mentor, the easier is it for you to really scale up the goal that you want to achieve, because they were there already, so they know what are the mistakes, lesser ng imuhang struggle. Next, Sir Ruben, will there be another sessions for VA this week? Yes, actually I have rescheduled, Sir Marl, how to get your Upwork approved on Wednesday. And tomorrow we will have one creative marketing for virtual assistants from another CEO of an agency here. I will release the photo campaign later. Okay, I agree, Coach, from Anita. Some individuals like myself learn faster through application. So I need to get more mentor or internship. True, you need to do that. If there's, if you know of somebody, you need to grab their attention and be an intern. Don't target first. As much as long as the pay is good, the goal there is not really to get income, high income as fast as you can. It's about getting the right skills that you need to have for you to really be able to start online. Okay, Nick, next. Okay. Sir, pa-enumerate naman mamaya samples of hardware setup na budget-friendly for beginners like brand name ng mic, like mindset minimum specs of PC, laptop. Okay. Sir Ian, actually ako, I'm a fan of Mac because first is, as you can see right now, what I'm using is, I'm using the MacBook Pro microphone. So, di mo na kailangan talaga ng uh, microphone pa sa Mac. Pero since hindi pa afford, you look for yung mga siguro semi-heavy duty mga gadgets. I don't want you to get the entry level at some point, because the entry level might be okay at some point, pero siguro mga 3 to 6 months you would realize, sana kinuha ko higher level gadget. Kasi if you're really serious about going online, you need to prepare yourself with the right hardware. Siguro uh, minimum lang ang specs ha. Meron kang 2 gig na video card, tapos meron kang i5, tapos meron ka siguro 1,000. I suggest na HDD na. No, SSD, para mas mabilis yung unit mo. Tapos you need to buy headset. Meron naman mga ganito lang. Example, ako nga, yung mga headset ko, mura lang. Yung mga from Uniqlo lang to eh. Uniqlo. These are just 250 to 500, but they last longer than the iPhone ones. Yeah. So, it's just, I don't really have a list of things that you need to do. Basta, akin lang is, you need to also buy a foldable table. Or if not, at least yung parang placement ng laptop ninyo. I suggest that you go for laptops instead of PC. But if you have PC, you can start with PC. But if you have money to spend, I still challenge you. If you have PC, you go for PC. But if you don't have any units, go for laptops. I did have a student also from, I think, somewhere, nakalimutan ko lang. Nung malaman ng family niya na he was really serious into the career that he was choosing, They bought him a laptop and all of the gears. Cost them around 35,000. Tapos, hinulog nila, ito to, home credit ba yun? Home credit. Kinuha nila through home credit. I'm not I'm not saying that you go to home credit, ha? Excuse me. My point is, you need to, bro, you need to put a ring on it. Kung kay Beyonce pa. Why? What's your ba? What it shows your commitment if you're really buying gears for you to really set up at home. I hope I answered your question, Ian. Excuse me, ah. Nung nag-start ka po, what software ang ginamit mo that helped you as a VA? Any software must-haves or free software we can use na suggest ninyo? Depende kasi sa client kung ano yung software na gagamit, mga softwares na gagamitin. But the most important ones is Word, Excel, how to use Google Docs, because most of the file sharing will be via Google Docs, Google Documents, how to use forms. These are basic things that you need to learn. There's another one, time trackers like, but don't worry about this because these things will be taught to you by the HR or the company themselves for you to be able to align to them. Okay. So as much as I suggested that you prepare for it for the setup, don't bury yourself on the details. Okay. Next, Jean Alicia, thank you for the helpful, authentic discussions. I hope you understood because at some point I think medyo serious yung conversations natin ngayon. Marami tayong na-cover. Coach Ruben, saan po pwedeng makapag-internship as freelancer as a beginner? There are a lot of companies. Look for a digital marketing agency near you. Harvey. Taga saan ka ba, Harvey? If you're from... Hindi ako sure, ha? Mas maganda kasi yung malapit sa'yo kasi at least pwede mo sila mabisita, or if not, you can really uh, ano pa ba? Mhm. Internship. Oo nga, no? Let me get back to you on that. Maybe I can lump some friends to really pitch in kung paano ba kayo pwedeng mabigyan ng internship. Sige. Tingnan natin, Harvey. Thank you for this question. Next. Mhm. Thank you so much for this informative discussion. Okay. Ian Vistal. Sir, since Upwork is not beginner friendly, saan po kami pwede mag-focus first to look for online jobs? Focus on building your credibility. So, creating your own website, creating your own portfolio, because these are the things that will also be more or less things that you will be showing to the clients that you can do, you know how to do these things. Start building yourself. Oh, yun talaga. Your skills and your competency. Michelle, may free webinar po ba kayo how to do exact Google search online successfully? Oh, oo nga, no? Kasi yung search engine optimization natin was run through lang yun eh. Let me think about it, ha, Michelle. Kung we can get another speaker or at least ako, I can prepare another deck. So, Cheche, is there any ideal age when to start freelancing or VA career? How young? What if in age 40s up? Actually, there's a new trend in the US because the one of the largest group of people that's really acquiring online jobs right now are the senior citizens. As long as you are committed to really transition online, there's no harm in kahit ano pa edad mo. Importante lang is, can you cope up to the requirement and the need? Thank you sa inputs. Sure, Kenneth. John, how do you handle a given task if you weren't able to complete it in a given time frame? Okay, when you have a job and a task, be sure that it's pretty clear to you so that you'll be able to address it correctly. But if you're not sure, be sure to go back to the client and ask them additional details. Now, as soon as you are able to see what is the more or less the whole bulk of work, then you tell the client, This is more or less the time that I can complete this. Tapos pag sinabi ng client, no, you need to do, uh, can you tell me how to do that fast? It's one way of saying that you, if there's a better way of doing it, maybe they share it to you so that you would know how to fast track it. Okay? I hope I answered your question, John. John James Shan. Sir, kailan po exam? Okay. The exam, I think on Wednesday. And we're trying to prepare the questions now. On Wednesday, we will be doing it. And we should thank Kwan. We should thank our friends from the ICT and FOPSCO for helping us out in really making this webinar series possible. Okay, Vicky, I'm still tied down with an 8 to 5 job. Now, all the more I want to get a sideline to start off. I can be an OJT basis after office hours. Any advice how? Okay, that's the thing that I will be back with. I will try to inquire around and then we'll get back to you, Vicky, because this is a question that I can't really answer right now. I'm try. Let me look into my company also. Maybe I can find you OJT jobs. Okay. After some weeks of self-learning, do you hire part-time jobs or on-the-job trainee internships? Okay, we'll get back to you on that, Renato. But these are good questions that I want to explore. Pwede, pwede. Okay, Harvey. Okay, I think we have another speaker, pero that's another topic. Kasi I'm encouraging you because to do this. After this session, after our webinar series, what will happen is we will have another series with social media for businesses, and this will be conducted also by CEOs of digital marketing agencies starting Monday next week. But the good thing with that is you will learn how to what do you call this? How to do things according to how it's being done by other companies, agencies. It's like you learning how they are doing things. So maybe you want to join. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Yes, please. Internship also. Is there a way we can hide our personal SOCMED accounts and only show our VA persona? The thing is, your persona, Anata, is an attractive one considering that you're a working mom, and there are a lot of working moms out there, agencies who also prefer to hire working mom parents. So with that in mind, I don't think you need to hide your personal profile. Ako, ginawa ko ngayon kasi I'm really trying to shift everything to my Facebook page because I want to track on all the insights and analytics of my Facebook page. So I'm slowly downgrading my personal profile and transitioning to the full Facebook page. If you want to hide it, make all the posts private and not searchable in Facebook. There's options there that you need to take na when they search in Facebook, you won't find it and so on. Okay? Is contract needed meski short term lang and need may standard template for all po ba? Normally, may mga contract na talaga mga existing clients and kahit short term pa yan. If you don't have contract, you need to ask for one. Just para clear lahat kung ano yung pinapagawa sa inyo. Kasi pag hindi clear, then there's a problem. Sorry. Diba? Everything should be clear on how it is being done. Okay? I think we don't have any questions. No? Wala na. Okay. Bless. Don't have any question, but I just want to thank you, sir, for organizing this webinar. No worries. I'm really happy that you've learned at some point. You've learned from this, and we look forward to your future online success. So kung wala na questions, thank you very much, everyone, for participating in our event, and we look forward to more conversations with you in the future, and hopefully we can help you also in getting a job for you. Okay, we'll try to sort it out. We'll try to sort it out. No promises yet. Okay? Salamat. May buntag. Eh, good lunch. Live a great life.